If you are switching careers or maybe making a huge life decision and you just don't know which way you're going to go, maybe you should consider doing a darkness retreat, which is what Aaron Rodgers from the NFL decided to do.
It's 4 nights of complete darkness. It's a darkness retreat. I've had, a number of friends who've done it and had some profound experiences, and it's something that's been on my radar for a few years now, and I felt like it'd be awesome to do regardless of where I was leaning. It's coming up in a couple weeks. It's a room. It's a little house. There's a 2-way, like a little slot that they'll drop in some food for you. No music, no nothing. Just myself.
Does that mean that 24 hours a day you're in darkness?
Yes.
For the full 4 days.
Like complete darkness where you can't even see in front of you?
That's what he said.
My understanding.
It's like a sense deprivation type thing.
Yeah. So you're just alone with your thoughts, nothing else.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think I would go insane.
Yeah, I don't like the darkness part. I don't think I could do the darkness.
And for 4 straight days.
It makes you think of people that are blind, what they have to go through. But
Well, sure, but they have other senses.
Yeah.
Like this one, it's like you're taking away, it feels like you're taking away a majority of them.
what's the point of this? What do you get out of this?
Well, go ahead.
I heard the full interview that he was doing here, and he explained it as after, like, when it first starts, obviously you're just sitting there in darkness, but he said after the first, 12 to 24 hours, you start to almost have, psychedelic effects, like hallucinations and stuff. So it's almost like, peyote or mushrooms or something like that.
Which he's done in the past.
Yes, he has.
What does he get besides the psychedelic effects? Because, is that something you probably like? Is there something he thinks that he's going to better himself by doing?
Yeah, I think this is the same idea as anybody who meditates or goes on some sort of spiritual retreat where you're really taking out any outside distractions, outside opinions, outside anything, and really focusing in on who you are and what you want and what's best for you.
Oh God, that just gives me anxiety thinking of that.
That's the thing that I want to do. The thing I want to do the most. I just don't think that it's darkness is my way.
You want to maybe go somewhere for 4 days in nature.
I want to be on drugs. I would
And-
like
and
to.
on-
I would
and
like
on
to do the
drugs.
ayahuasca.
Katie.
Yes, I would. That's not new. This is
Wanna
not
be
new
on
news.
Illicit drugs?
Yeah, I want to try it. I really
Ayahuasca?
do.
What's it called?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
That's what he did in this last off season.
Did he?
Yeah.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
In a
Okay.
different country? Is that where you
Was
do
he
it?
in Peru?
No, I
Where's
thought
he
he was
here?
just in the desert, out in Nevada or Arizona.
But,
Could
Yeah.
be.
this
Maybe
drug,
so.
is it illegal or is a doctor can give it to you?
Oh, ayahuasca is not. I don't think it's legal. I mean, I think it's one of those you have to travel. You go with a shaman, and you basically.
Well, it might be legal.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not a
something
street drug.
Yeah, you can't get
Yeah.
on the street corner.
Yeah.
Right, so it's probably not. Well, that's interesting.
And it's not something you can be prescribed. You know what I mean? It's like it's a natural thing that you take and.
Yeah, like Katie said, she would like to do that, or people do that. Like Squid, it was for different reasons. Went to survival camp or whatever in the wilderness to help him improve his life, get off drugs, right?
Yeah, a lot of meditating and praying and reflection.
And no TV, no
Yeah, no,
music.
Did it help you, Squid?
100%. Not necessarily with staying sober, but it
right.
definitely realigned my
But you haven't-
outlook on life
yeah.
and how I view things and value things. And I think
Does it make you slower?
no. Believe it or not, I was
Make you
slow
not
before I
care
got
at
in
all.
there.
Oh, really?
Well,
Were you always the last one at the wilderness camp?
I was always in the back of the line,
Okay.
when we were hiking. But yeah, I think it's definitely I don't know, just something about being in nature and not having any
Yes.
distractions is just enlightening.
Well,
in
I do
itself.
say I agree with you there, Squid, because I did read some kind of study. They did this huge study about people that are just getting out for a couple hours outside every day had a lot better. Were much better off mentally.
Yes.
Much better off mentally and physically too if they were walking or whatnot. So I could see that part. But this Aaron Rodgers sitting in the complete darkness for 4 days, to me,
I don't know.
is not the same.
Well, that's just not your way. I mean, but for him, I think he's exploring any sort of avenue that might lead him to the enlightenment, might lead him to what his true want in life is.
So
I think that's
technically,
nice.
yes, ayahuasca is illegal under federal law.
Okay.
But in a recent interview, Aaron Rodgers credited his most recent 2 MVPs to his experience with ayahuasca.
Yes, see?
They didn't have a
Yeah,
good
and
season
it's-
last season. I mean,
Well,
fully
He
legal
didn't do it
in
last
Mexico.
season, I guess.
yeah.
Oh, I thought he did this past off season. Maybe it was
He
the
did
2.
something this past off
He did
season
something
with
different.
Was it with Shailene Woodley? Didn't they do it
Yes.
together?
It was something about like that. Yeah.
Well, and for me, I went on a mission for our church, and it's not the same as like Squid or this thing, but for 2 years, There's no dating, no TV, no movies. It's just you're focusing, and your sole focus is really on other people and how to help other people. And I would say overall, I've never been, I mean, except like my kids, but I've never been overall happier then. It's like counterintuitive.
Wow. I would rather sit in the dark for 4 days.
Why? You're talking to people.
Every day I woke up, it wasn't about me. It wasn't about, well, I want to do this, or I need to go do this. It was, how can I help this family? Or how can we help
2 years of no TV, no movies, no girls, no nothing. I would double the darkness days and take my chances.
This just solidifies my opinion, Jason, that you are terrified of finding out who you really are. And spending any sort of time with yourself.
Yeah. What does that mean exactly?
What you saying? Yeah. What does that mean?
I know what it means, but for other people who might not know what it means.
I don't know what that means for you. I don't know what it is. I don't know why you're afraid to be in your own thoughts, but it is very apparent to me that you are.
Well, I told you, when I'm thinking about things and I start going on a rant and tangent in my own mind, I feel like I'm starting to go crazy. But besides that, I try to get out of it. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to go crazy. Got to stop.
I don't know what you're distracting yourself from, but
like,
there's
have
something.
you found you?
No, I'm telling you, I want to go on drugs to find myself.
Has anybody found, whatever that means even?
Well, I did when I went on a mission. What I discovered was if you could be in a situation where you don't have to worry about paying bills, although we did have to pay for our mission.
Of course.
But you don't have to have a job and all these other responsibilities. I did realize the best version of me happened 20 years ago. No, the best version of me, it's all been downhill, is, and I think maybe for everybody, is when you're more focused on helping others.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is that reality for us now? No.
Not always.
But that's the best version of you. But what does found yourself mean?
Well, to me, it found that, like, I'm happier if I'm not thinking about all the things that I need or, woe is me, and I'm only focused on other people.
And it's not about the I think we get really sucked into greed, and we get into sucked into keeping up with the Joneses, and look who has this, and look what they're doing. And social media, that's why I think it is the worst.
Yeah.
Well,
it is the most
I need
toxic
to send
thing you can be
Carol
doing.
to South Africa.
See, deflection.
We go everywhere. She can see somewhere else if she wants, but
Yes. It's the deflection.
Yeah.
But it's true. We consume it all the time, and then what happens is we think we're not good enough. We think what we're doing isn't great. We're not living up to. We don't have enough. It's not fair, and it's toxic.
I do think, and Katie was definitely the first one on board. I want to give you credit for that.
100%.
Early on,
Yes.
and everyone's like super excited about, ooh, Facebook's cool, and she was like, this is not good. Before anyone else was saying it, so I want to give you credit for that.
Well, thanks.
I do think sometime in the future we will look back on this, other generations, and say this was our smoking. Like, how was it legal to allow kids on TikTok,
to allow
adults to have this thing in their face 24 hours a day that your brain is not ready to handle.
Right.
That's pretty crazy.
I heard social media.
You're comparing it to smoke.
I think so.
Yeah,
it might be worse in some ways.
The addiction. The addiction.
More
Yes.
addictive. I see it. It's hard to see it, but I see it.
Because I see someone smoking, I'm like, can't you control yourself? Then I'm like, check my phone 400 times a day. I check my
Watching
phone
the
like
same videos.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they do say the amount of time that we look at the screen through the, TikTok, Instagram, and all this stuff is that it's creating our bodies possibly to actually grow physically different.
Yes.
Where you're curling over.
Yeah, it's
and
not
our
good.
thumbs are like constantly. We have arthritis in our thumbs from scrolling and texting, and then nobody knows how to communicate.
Nope.
For the most part, you just don't. And then you can walk in anywhere or practically anything. Go right now. Jason is on his phone right now. Right now.
And when I
you
come on his
couldn't
phone,
resist it.
I was trying to look at the humans with the bodies.
No.
But when Jason did that, I had my phone down. I tried to do that during the show.
Yes.
Like in the commercial breaks, maybe not. But when he picked it up, I had a literal surge in my body of jealousy that I'm like, I want to be on my phone.
I want to check out.
I'm
I
being serious.
I know.
Yes.
But we go on public transportation, go into a restaurant, walk down the street. Everybody is hunched over, staring at their phones. Go to a bar, go out to an event like we went to. Well, that was not a great thing because we were watching something on stage.
The truth.
But everybody is staring at their phone and no one's
But
talking.
we went to, we saw a river dance at Tanger, and it was
Yes.
awesome. And so obviously no phones during
No
it. And you're like
phones.
enjoying real life stuff. intermission. Boom!
Everybody.
Right.
3,000
Yeah.
phones come out.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, taking selfies, proving that they're, and it's, I get it. You want to capture the moment. I
Yeah, sure.
understand that, but it is an addiction.
There are people
Wow.
are hailing at this point 2 kids as heroes that went to the LA Lakers game to see LeBron James break the record. Because they have a photo of LeBron James breaking a record. It doesn't make him the GOAT. It's a separate subject. Katie, maybe get to your sports segment later. About it.
Yes, I'll take note.
No, but whatever. It was like the only 2 kids in the arena that weren't watching the history, sports history, on their phone. They're actually just sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
And everyone else was watching through their phone.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get. I'd want a picture too, but are you really experiencing
But
it?
well, see, here's the thing. This is how it goes. It's not a picture that you're going to put into an album to then one day show your grandchildren.
Right.
It's a picture to have to then be able to post immediately onto social media that you'll probably never go back to
Well,
look
no,
at.
but there's
you know?
times when I look through social media or memories come up that I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that, and it gives
But
me
what
a good feeling.
happens when it goes away?
What?
I guess
Oh,
I think
they'll be in
inevitably,
trouble. Yeah.
inevitably, something's going to happen to this cloud we all talk about.
Right.
You know, where everything we just shove to the cloud. What happens
And
when
maybe,
that goes?
maybe not. But
I don't know.
if it doesn't, I don't know. I agree with you though. I think and there's a lot of benefits to the phone, especially in emergencies. And you wonder if
Yeah,
there's
of course.
less crime because of phones, or at least more people are getting caught. I don't see that.
I don't
but
see
it's
that.
got to be something has to be with that, and there's some conveniences with it. But at the same time, you're right. I mean, people come over to the house. Sometimes I'll have like people over for a cookout, and everybody's looking at their phone and
Right.
not conversing with each other right then and there at the cookout.
Yeah, you go to a dinner with your family. People are on their phones.
Yep.
My biggest pet peeve these days, and I get it because we had to do it because of COVID. But now, I don't need the QR code on my menu.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
On
for
the
the
menu,
menu,
yeah.
because you go into a restaurant and everybody's staring at your phone and you don't know why.
It puts you right on your phone.
It
'cause You
does.
have to, yeah.
I don't
There's
like
definitely times that I've been in public somewhere and not wanted to be on my phone, but I think to myself, if I just sit here and look around and observe, people are going to look at me like I'm insane.
What's wrong with him? What are you looking at, weirdo?
Yeah,
Like the opposite when you're not on your phone by yourself. People
Yeah.
think, ooh, creepy.
it. Creepy.
yeah. Like, what is
Yeah.
wrong with him? Why does he have a phone?
You could walk around with a book
Why is he staring at people?
if you wanted. I do.
Something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I just feel judged if I don't have my phone out.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's our generation smoking. I'm telling you.
I agree.
And every study that's coming out, it's bad for teenagers. They're immediately depressed as soon as they get
Yes.
off social media. Depressed.
And the bullying that's
bullying.
happening online.
Not to be too dark,
Especially with-
suicides.
Yes.
Suicides way up.
Mm-hmm.
Not just from social media, but all the comparison, not thinking you're good enough.
Yeah.
Like Katie said, cyberbullying. Can't get away from it when you leave school. I
Yeah.
mean,
There's a lot of pressure on the way you look, too, without a doubt. I
Yes.
mean, you have tons. I mean, look at my Instagram search feed. Every single smoking hot model comes, every single one of them.
Yep.
And then you're comparing that. Think of what it's doing, like, to my mind. I'm like, oh, this is, wow, these people do exist, and there's a lot of them, and they're so hot. And then you look at somebody else that's not on an Instagram model, just not as good looking anymore.
Well,
Right.
and that's I think, a super depressing part is that all of that kind of pressure has always existed. It's always existed, especially for women when it comes to magazine ads or television ads or clothing. It's always been there for
Yeah.
women, but it's like we quadrupled down
Yes.
by creating social media.
Yes.
And so now
Yeah,
It's
like,
crippling.
Oh, yeah, and it's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the other day, Selena Gomez posted a photo of herself without any makeup and had naturally curly hair. And I was like, what in the hell is this? This should be illegal.
This off my feed.
it's true.
No, but she looked completely different. I
Yeah.
mean, she
Yeah.
literally looked just like a normal. And I'm like, what is this? I couldn't believe it
Yeah.
of what women do to post on social media and the photos and the deception that they're causing us guys to have to
Oh my
face.
God. Somehow or another, it turns into.
the phones all together.
Now, Katie,
Yes.
I can cut you into this billion dollar idea I just had,
Okay.
but I don't think you're gonna like the premise of it. So
Which
you can say
is?
yes or no. Jason, I know you'll be in.
Okay.
Squid, I'll put you in, and Matt. It's 4 guys.
Mhm.
It's contacts that have filters on them, so when they look at women, they look like their Instagram filters.
Huh.
I don't like
Oh
that.
my
It's a great idea,
gosh.
isn't it?
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
not $1 billion. That's $1 trillion. You're telling me you can put contact lenses on
Yes.
and go up to some girl that you would never think is good looking,
Yep.
and all of a sudden in your eyes, she's just smoking hot?
Yes.
Get me them now, and I want a part of the company.
I have
Benefit
my
women
money.
too.
My
It
God.
benefit women too.
I have never wanted to be on ayahuasca on a retreat more than right now in this moment.
That's a good idea.
awesome
It would
idea.
sell. It would absolutely
And you
sell.
can do glasses if you
That's
want.
coming. That is coming
I'm
for
telling
sure.
you. Yeah.
We need to invent this.
Yeah. How do we do it? Okay.
And then
Should we start out with just regular glasses?
Yeah, I think let's get into contact with lens crafters later.
Okay, can y'all do this on your own time? Can
Hey,
we
Katie,
maybe?
when we're on our Caribbean island, you're like, oh, what about me? I'm like,
And then,
you have your chance.
and then
You know
Jason,
where to
we
find
can,
me.
You'll be right here.
and then Jason, we can screen share with our eyes. So when I'm hooking up with a girl, I can screen share my eyeballs with you, and then bam, you can watch it.
That's a
Can
side
you
product.
imagine-
Yeah, that's supposed to be off
Side
air.
product.
Can you imagine Katie walking into the studio and we have the contact lenses and we're like, oh my God, she's
I can see my contacts out. I can't even focus. I can't even work with her to do anything.
It'll be like reality. It really will.
Yeah, right. Of
Yeah,
course.
reality like it is right now.
Yeah,
very close.
Isn't
I
it?
bet you
Yes.
we are going that direction,
Yeah.
Katie.
Oh, I
Telling
know. I totally. There is virtual reality porn
Yeah.
Right.
where you don't even have to have a partner. You can just do yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I want to explore into that too. But
Yes. I don't know.
Walking around with contacts and goggles everywhere.
Yeah, we think we don't communicate now.
Right.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
wait.
Just
And our self-driving cars just watching
Yes.
porn all the way to work.
bumping into stuff in your Oculus. Oh, God, sorry.
Yeah, and then living in the metaverse. It's not good.
It's not. All these words don't even make sense.
No, I know.
They don't. And you know what? I will say, as hippie as it sounds, I support Aaron Rodgers in this, like the darkness retreat, because it's at least getting away from all of that.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that I think more and more people are going to follow in that trend.
That will be a
I
trend.
really do. I think it's like you get away.
Like an unplugged getaway.
Mhm.
I hope he doesn't come back weirder though.
If he plays for my team and he's good, I'll be all right with it.
Who does he? Who's
Green
he play?
Bay.
Oh, Green
But
Bay.
people don't think he's going to be
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot.
Well, that's what this whole thing's about, right? Whether or not he's going to be coming back.
His decision. To
Yeah,
play.
what his decision
Whether
is.
he's going to retire altogether or,
Right.
or
Yeah, so
leave Green Bay. Yeah.
We'll see what the darkness retreat does to Aaron Rodgers in the NFL.
This has been a sports moment
You're
with
welcome.
Katie.
Just anytime she mentions anything that has anything somewhat related to sports.